What's up, guys? It's my girl CatCorelli, and this is episode 278 of my Cat Vibes series. Today we're still on the Frenchburg trip. Yet another painting, third out of this series. There is going to be a fourth one as well. I think at this point I have to admit that I have a particular loving for roads. There's something to it. I love painting roads. From a compositional standpoint, however, it might become a little boring because, it's virtually everything is tied down to the road. The road, especially from the driver's perspective, right? It's always forward and everything kind of builds around it. So it gets a little boring at some point. But in this particular little painting, I thoroughly enjoyed the variety of the greens all over the place, different hues and shades, masses of color on the road itself, the sunlight, and those two trees. You will see the second one, I'll paint it a little later, and the distant forests and meadows, some of which appear to be kind of reddish because of all the early buds starting to bloom and that kind of thing. And the sky was so clear and it's just so sunny. I like this kind of landscapes. It's such an enjoyment to paint something like this because there is depth. There's some distant mountains there, some hills. I don't know if they qualify as mountains. You probably call them hills, really. And they're all covered in forests, and they appear kind of bluish. You see a little bit of it in the distance, but before that there is another section of a different forest which looks kind of reddish because of the light. There are all of those greens in high contrast lighting, and it all falls from the left, so it creates this beautiful opportunity to explore all sorts of greens going into blues, and then ochre and warm yellows and cool yellows as well, because we're dealing with young spring grass here, and a lot of young growth, spring growth, young vegetation. And this is what I'm doing basically. I'm using some deeper phthalo blue here, and green blue, and a mixture of them both, and but I'm being very careful. I'm trying not to over mix things because I want to preserve the freshness of colors. I don't want the colors to be dirty or muddy. I want them to be kind of pristine and more on the more refined side, more to the point, more direct. So I'm not mixing too many things at a time. There's that distant mountain. And the road and the light, again, it's kind of the same idea for the composition like in the previous little painting, but there we had like this mass of trees to the left, and then it kind of obscured the forefront, and then there was just a little patch, just a little bright patch further down the road. But here you have basically the entirety of the road is lit up, and there are those shadows. There we go, look at this. And just in a moment, there's going to be a normal photo in daylight, so you can see it. If you want to purchase any of my paintings, reach out to me at ladycatherinecorelli@gmail.com. We'll discuss the pricing and the shipment, things of such nature. An Etsy website is going to be coming in the span of the following month, I think. And soon all these paintings will show up there. With that being said, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for spending time with me. Thank you for your comments, likes. If you like my content, please share it. And you will hear me next time. Meow.